cheapen the lives of the people who lost fighting the drug war. Kaya ako nasasaktan. Kaya I use foul mouth. I am a very, you know that, I am a very courteous person. You know, it is maybe because you are rich and I am poor. It's something like that. Yeah, you have to defer to people with power and money. I've always been courteous to you. But what prompted me to use the insults was just to, I said, express my outrage. One, I said, you are idiots. You are an ignoramus. You are not talking sense. And get out of this country because you are playing games with us. Now, if you really want to help the Philippines, if you are a foreigner, look at it as a social problem. Again, I would say, bakit namatay? Why are these all dead? Ask why. Then there is history for that. That there are mayors, they are, by the way, most of them died because they killed their own policemen who did not follow them, like Paraino. And look at his house. Nakita niyo sa TV. It was shown on TV. Okay. What was the wallpaper of the house of the son? It was 500 pesos pasted on the wall as wallpaper. You see how obscene the war is? You cheapen our value as a Filipino when you start to mumble there and mumble here. Try to investigate why. Do not take the figures of those who died, because most of them died in gun battles. Now, are there extrajudicial killings? Yes. And that is why from the day I saw the TV, I ordered the police to detain the 3 policemen until today and are facing charges of murder. We do not, only when your life is in danger, then you have 2 things with you. One is the presumption of regularity in the performance of your duty. Second is that if you have to kill him because you are in the performance of your duty and self-defense. You need not die just to arrest that is not needed. If you have to save your life for your family and children. Another thing is that those Filipinas, most of them are domestic helpers. They go out, sometimes there are allegations of rape and brutality. I went to a certain country because the Filipinas, they were arrested for distributing rosaries. And since they were from my city, and they were there almost every morning crying, my wife said, why don't you do something about it? For after all, your grandmother was a Muslim. My grandfather was a Chinese. I hope he's not occupying our land there in the South Pacific. Because I am already a Filipino. So I went there, and King Fahd was about, not really office rockers, but he could hardly communicate. But he understood our plight. But the chief minister told me to talk to, and he said, in the Arab culture, in some areas, not all Arabs, I repeat, not all Arabs, if you are there working unpaid or bought from the slave markets of Africa, sexual abuse is just an ordinary thing. That's why some of them one committed suicide. So about yesterday or 4 days ago. And plenty. They jump off from buildings and windows. And you have heard how many. I'd like to be frank with you. Look at my eyes. What is the most common complaint? What was the cry? What was the agony? That they work until the wee hours of the morning. They sleep 3 to 4 hours only and eat garbage, the leftovers. Then they are being used by the husband, used by the son, and sometimes used by the brother-in-law and the nephews. And I can understand why they commit suicide. You know, I hope the Western things should stop the rule. They don't understand that, you know, when you have a son addicted to drugs, the family is already dysfunctional. Because they steal everything from the house, pati yung kotse, pagbibili. It's the usual thing. Then, if the wife goes out there to work, and there is no mother and wife in that family, it becomes dysfunctional. If the husband and wife, which is usually what happens, go out, the other one in one country, the other in another country, then the children are left with the grandparents and the sisters. It is totally a dysfunctional family. And the drug people, because they are in the neighborhoods. If they are rich, then they would not have to go to. They watch who are with money. And they know that the children of the OFW have regular remittances. That is why they would just steal them and tempt them. And eventually, they get into the habit. Now, what is my complaint? My complaint is, the mother goes out, endures the hours of working, eating garbage, working their backs to death, just to be able to send money so that they are poor, but their children can study and hope that someday they would have improved their lives. Yan ang masakit sa akin. I can kill you for that, actually. Suffering, lack of sleep, lack of food, they send the money all here only to be eaten by the drugs syndicate. And that is my agony too. And to my sorrow, because I am a president of the poor country. I never really is killing people. I don't want to kill people. I have children. I do not want other people killing my children. I want not that stuff of violence. But given the situation, sometimes you lose your humanity and begin to act like a criminal. You are put in a situation where I have to take care of 110 million Filipinos. 98% are really poor. Do not force me into it, because I will do it. Just like Wari, how many days before I said, do not force my hand into it, because there was already a brewing trouble. Said, please do not tempt me to do it. But when the time came, I declared martial law. And so everybody was asking, when will it stop? It will not stop until the last terrorist is taken out. They are still at it. Now, the order, yung sabi nila, si Doc, yung tatlo yan, Hapilon, Umar, tapos yung Doc, I think he's an Arab, he was taken this afternoon. And that completes the story. Now, drugs is one. Well, let us talk of government. Have you eaten your dinner? Not yet? No, it's about 8:30. Am I correct? Give me another 30 minutes. Dinner at 9. Corruption. Did I not tell you I do not like corruption? I just fired the undersecretary of DBM, Office of the Budget. I was lucky because there were so many people. I wanted to slap him. I even stood up to, wanted to keep him in the face. Fired him for corruption. The other week, 3 employees of my office, I influence peddling. Of course, not with the money, but this one is tinkering with the money of. I told you, stop. STOP. And I'm addressing myself. I'm better off with the. At least one thing good about the military is when you say you stop, and everything stops. The police, but I said, you never find sanctuary in me. Just follow the law. But if you kill people almost on bended knees with the hands raised, and you do their thing for what? Who gave you the right to do it? Anyway. But somehow, I said, I suppose that the revenue guys do not bother you anymore. The feedback is no more. Wala na po. So at least the customs no more. Okay? Okay. So, these are the people I want really to kill. But I cannot kill because I am a shy guy. I do not want to answer publicly about these idiots. If you're not satisfied with the income, then you better go. Now, the next thing is that I know that on the national level, the executive department, there are 3 separate and independent of each other. The executive department, which is headed only by the president. Then the Congress, there are 2 houses there. The Senate, which is headed by Pimentel, and the House, which is headed by Alvarez, the Speaker of the House. Then the judiciary. There's not much I can do here. But you can report. You can report to me. That is why I'm against the Ombudsman and Serino. She has done a lot of things not really in accordance with law. You might want to take notice of the fact that every election, we have a new set of officials. And the plate number 1 is for me. I do not use it. I use the ordinary number. The number 2 plate is for the Vice President. I don't know if Robredo is using it. Then the 3 is for the Senate President. The 4 is the Speaker. The 5th, I think, the Chief Justice. The 6 are cabinet members. It is only the cabinet members of the executive department under me. They are not allowed to use the number 6. It is an illiterate